Hi everyone. So I'm starting another of my streams. I know that earlier that I was expected to start, but I want to start early and finish earlier. That's the plan for today. And since I have this resolution that I'm trying to stick to, one day, new stream, I decided that it's better to do it earlier than not do it at all. And for tomorrow, I'm also going to stream in the afternoon. Not exactly sure at what time. So, but tomorrow it's just going to be like a very short stream with a few puzzle rushes. And for today we're going to listen to the third episode of my Chess Killer Tips podcast and discuss it later on with some of the positions that I picked for today's stream. So let's get going. I'm going to play the podcast right now, and then we're going to discuss it.
Welcome to another episode of ChessKillerTips.com with Grandmaster Alexandra Kosteniuk.
This is a position from a very famous game of Chapelle de la Bourdonnais, Paris 1836. It's white to play and win. Try to find the solution till the very end. You can press pause now and think about this position for as long as you need. At the end of the music, you will hear the solution. So here's the solution. White plays knight takes h6 check. And here black has two possibilities. We'll look at both of them. The first one is g takes h6. Here white wins after a very nice queen sacrifice. Queen h8 check. So black has to take king h8, king f7, and here black has no defense from checkmate. Rook f8, king takes f8. Now any move, for example e1 queen, and bishop f6 checkmate. The second variation is when after knight takes h6 check, black plays king h8. White wins after knight f7 check, king g8, and here another very nice queen sacrifice. Queen takes g7 check. Black has to take king g7, and here a very nice checkmate combination. Bishop f6 check, king g8, knight h6 checkmate. In this example, you see the strengths of all pieces working in harmony together.
As usual, you will find all back episodes, as well as all positions and any links mentioned in the podcast on our site, ChessKillerTips.com.
So, let me start by saying that I'm not so sure why I said that this particular game that was discussed in the third episode of my Chess Killer Tips podcast is from the Chapelle La Bourdonnais game of 1839. I have no idea, and most likely this position is not from a practical game, obviously, because it looks too artificial, but most likely it was published in the magazine or a book of La Bourdonnais of that time. We know that the first periodical magazine in France was published in 1836. It was called Palamètre, and most likely that was one of the positions that was published over there. Да, скорее всего. One way or another, this position survived, and we can enjoy it. It reached our time somehow, and we can discuss it even today and enjoy this nice combination. So white wins by playing knight takes h6. In case of king h8, black is being checkmated by this very nice queen sacrifice and checkmating that. And after g takes h6, white plays a brilliant move, queen h8, and that's gonna be the topic of our today's discussion, queen to h8. And then after king takes h8, king f7, there is no it's not possible to save the game for black. It's not possible to protect the king from being checkmated. After rook f8, for example, white will take the rook, and bishop f6 will be played on the next move. I don't know how are you feeling about this queen h8 move. What do you have any games that come up to your mind when you see this idea, queen to h8? I tried to look up in a studies database to find the same idea, but usually what you find in databases, in studies, that's the idea, I mean the pawn gets to h8, thus kind of forcing black's king to go to the corner, and that allows white to create a checkmating net. So that's one of the studies where white plays g7, f2, bishop e7, queen f1 queen, bishop to f6, nice bishop's maneuver. Getting ready to promote the pawn and give a checkmate. So black is obliged here to take on f6, and if white takes back, it's going to be a stalemate. In order to win, white needs to find a very nice solution, which is g takes h8 queen. So we have another queen on the h8 square, although it's a newly born pawn. Queen takes h8 and d4. A very nice study. I like it very much. Black has an extra queen. But despite this fact, there is nothing black can do in order to save the game. This situation is called a Zugzwang in chess. Yes, hi everyone. I started earlier today, so sorry if it caught you by surprise. So it's not really a puzzle, it's a study. What is the difference? Study is position that was created by a chess composer. It was not seen in a practical game. It just in that case, Gulyaev created this position, and yes, it shows very nice. I mean, each study usually it's a beautiful demonstration. It's a demonstration of beauty in chess. There are nice geometrical motifs, there are nice combinations, and yes, I enjoy those studies very much. But let's get going and see a few more of such studies. And I repeat to those who joined us a little bit later that the main position of the third Chess Killer Tips episode was this quite famous position. Not 100% sure where this position came from. In the podcast, I say that it's from Deschapelles de la Bourdonnais game of 1836, but probably it was just created by de la Bourdonnais, and we're discussing it today. And we're focusing on one particular variation where white queen goes to h8 and forces black king to get to the corner, and then checkmate the king. So let's see other studies that I picked where the white queen appears on the h8 square. Although the ideas are not really, it's not 100. I was not really satisfied with these studies because it's not that particular idea. Because in this case, in this study, white plays g7, king g8, and actually the study is also has two ways. White has two ways to win, so it's not really the correct study, because according to chess composition rules, a chess study should only have one solution. And in that particular case, white can just take on b8, and after bishop takes g1, play bishop e5, and then promote the pawn with a winning position. But I wanted to show you this variation where white queen appeared on the h8 square, and then bishop d4 check, bishop e5, and very nice queen g3 move with two pins, x-rays, whatever it's called. And here white is winning, surprisingly a little bit, but winning because black just is not able to unpin from two of those pins. Going next to this very famous study of Pagassian's. It's I think recently on chess.com there was an article published on this composer with this particular study. White, in order to win, white needs to sacrifice the rook. And actually, if you put this position on the chess.com engine, it shows it doesn't show a win for white, at least on the 22nd death. So computer requires some time to calculate this line, which starts with rook f8. A very nice idea. Actually, I was saying that it doesn't see the winning continuation, maybe just draw. I always thought that it's a win, but maybe this move is a mistake. Yes, actually, this is not a correct study. This is a draw, because black should just stay with the bishop, and there is no way for white to break through. The computer is not wrong. It's correct. It just doesn't let white king to go to e6, and it's going to be a draw. But after e5, which seems to be a blunder, white king is going to this f8 square, and despite the fact that black promotes the queen, white wins by checkmating the black king. Okay, well, but that's also not a correct study. Okay, and now I come to the practical part of this idea. Actually, when I see the queen on h8, I have several positions that appear in my mind. Somehow they're very well known positions that happened in practical games, where the queen h8 was the key to win the game. Nick Nemax, you see? So great minds think alike, they say, right? Okay. Yes, actually, it's good to revisit. It's good to revisit because, first of all, there's new information that appears, and sometimes you just don't agree with what you said that dozen of years ago. But anyway, let's focus on this position. This position can be found in one of the Dvoretsky test books, and I've seen it several times. And the main idea for white to break through, to win this game, is connected with, believe me or not, it's connected with the move Queen h8. Okay, it seems to be very far away, but in fact it's not that far. And in fact, the white queen will get to h8 square in 1, 2, 3, 4 move. On the fourth move, we'll play Queen h8, and it's going to be dramatic for black. Okay, so the main line goes queen to c1. In the game, black took on d4. Well, probably knight to e7 was a little bit like more stubborn in the way that it will require white more time to win the game, but of course after queen c5 or queen c7 the position will be lost. So black took on d4, probably hoping to survive, but unfortunately for them, after king to d3, queen takes e5, white wins in a very nice style with a very nice combination, which is queen to c8 check. And after queen to g7, we have the move that we are discussing today. Our move of the stream, move of the podcast, which is queen to h8. The only move, of course, that wins, because white just sacrificed 2 central pawns, just gave away the center. But of course, they had this idea, they saw this idea, and here white played queen to h8, and surprisingly, suddenly, after this exchange combination, black's knight is trapped. There is nowhere the knight can go to. All the squares are under control. It happens that even being in the center, the piece can be trapped and lost. So here we go. But of course, when you talk to queen h8 and when you ask Grandmaster to name the game that comes up to their mind when you say queen h8 check, probably most of them, I think like a big number of grandmasters, well, at least grandmasters of that were growing up reading books and not playing with computers, they will name one particular game that I want to discuss today. It's a famous combination from a world championship match of 1966 between Tigran Petrosyan and Boris Spassky. A very famous combination, and with the move queen to h8, deflecting the king. And let's see from the very beginning. Not e2, e4, not in this particular game. Tigran Vardanovich played knight to f3, and the game, we reached the King's Indian with the line with g3. Somehow Probably because of this knight to c6 move, which doesn't seem to be like very precise. Black didn't get what they hoped for in the King's Indian, and little by little white outplayed the opponent. So let's see how the game how they proceeded in the game. e4 f5 was played, which is one like main plan for black in the King's Indian, to push the pawns forward as fast as you can. White surprisingly took on f5 after g takes f5, made well, the move that is will not I'm not sure it's the best move in the position, but somehow it helped white in this particular game. Knight to d1 they played, so the knight is heading to e3. White wants to play f3 or h3 later on, and put the knight to e3. b5 black played. Probably it would have been much better to focus on the king's side, but b5 actually is not really attacking the queen side. The idea is to somehow to do something about this knight, because right now, if we see at the position, the knight on a5 is so misplaced that it's going to be the main the headache of black's position. b5 f3, and here black played e4, so trying to complicate the game, but probably it just doesn't work in this particular moment, and it might have been a better idea just to retreat the knight, go bishop d7, go knight b7, and try to play this position. Since after e4 bishop b2, white exchanges this dark squared bishop, and we reach the following position, which again is not clear at all, but black decides to go directly to get to open up the bishop, to get closer to white's king, f4, and this move is a mistake. This attempt doesn't work here. White took with the g pawn, g takes f4. It would have been better to take with the rook, probably a little bit, but who knows. G takes f4 is also a very good move, and the main idea of white was that after bishop to h3, white just doesn't have time to play something like rook f2 or rook e1, because if they play rook f2, rook takes f4 might follow with queen g5. So white sacrifices the first exchange, knight to e3. And when black accepts this sacrifice, suddenly we can feel that this knight is still out of play. The king is very weak, and after black's knight is under attack, and after it retreats from the center, after it goes to g6, white's bishop gets a very nice maneuver to get, a very nice idea and plan for white is to get this bishop to e6 with deadly threats to black's king. And when black takes on f4, white sacrifices a second exchange, and the position is already lost. Little by little, we reach the following position, which is very, very well known. And here we go, white plays and wins. We'll get back to this Pagassian's study then. if it's winning for white. It would be interesting, because I was sure that it's published everywhere and it's a win for white. It's nice to know that it's a win. I'm not sure it's a win though. Okay, but will be good to know. So any ideas here? King b6, king c7, king d8. Okay, good to know. Okay, we'll check it. We'll check a little bit later. But now, white plays and wins. How do they win here? How do they win? Well, that's the line that happened in the game. Probably it's not the only one here, not the only possibility, but definitely a very nice one. Bishop takes f7, rook takes f7, and then queen to h8. With the idea after king takes h8 to play knight f7 with a fork. And actually that's the game that comes up to my mind when I hear about this queen to h8 check, and I think it comes up to the mind of many more chess players. Okay, let's check this study once again. And because we have Howell Hub, who let us know that in fact I panicked too early and it should be a win. So let's check this nice plan that he mentions. Yes, if black plays e5, then as we already analyzed, the king goes to f8 and black gets checkmated very nicely indeed. But what's gonna happen? The question is what's gonna happen if black just stays, right? So the plan is to go to d8. Okay, let's get. Yes, indeed, it's winning. It's winning. That was very stupid of me to believe what the computer says, and that's actually what most of the people nowadays believe when they see this 000 evaluation. They immediately think that it's a draw. Yes, Howell Hub, thank you so much that you corrected me. Yes, indeed, it's a win, so no question about the correctness of this study. I didn't spoil anything. Thank you for your help. Indeed, white king just goes to d8. And, well, if black stays with the bishop, we'll just grab the e7 pawn, and then same here. We'll have the same idea of checkmating the black king. So yes, it's a very nice study. It's correct one, and white plays and wins. And here, no worries at all, because white king gets to f8 square anyway. Black cannot just sit and wait. So yes, so the game is won for black. What else I wanted to share with you today? One more position with the same queen h8 idea, or with similar idea of queen h8. It's from the game between Sergei Karyakin and Dmitry Andreikin. And white won this game by playing... Oops. I'm sure you all know already what white played. They played... Yes, surprise, surprise. They played queen to h8. Again, this annoying queen on the h8 square, which is protected. But after going to h8, black's king finds himself in trouble. In that particular case, it's a fork that appears on f7, and white gets a winning endgame. Although it would be useful to know how to checkmate with a bishop and a knight here. But I hope that you all know that pretty well. Okay, now one more position, the final position of today's revisit, before I get to Puzzle Rush portion of the stream. It's not really the same idea, I cannot, but still, I decided to show you this this game anyway, since it's a game of the current world champion, Magnus Carlsen. It was, I believe, a blitz or rapid game between Magnus and Vishwanathan Anand. Yeah, it was a blitz game, and here white won by playing knight e8. Black resigned, obviously, but if black plays king to g8, of course it's possible to checkmate with a very simple queen takes e6 and then rook takes f8. But since our topic today is queen to h8, it works here as well. And that's why I decided to show you this game, because white can checkmate black by playing queen to h8 and giving the following checkmate. Yeah. So here it is. A revisit of the third episode of my Chess Killer Tips podcast. I hope that you enjoyed the positions that we discussed. Probably some of you know some other beautiful positions with queen h8 sacrifice. Let me know. Maybe you can type the games in the chat and we might get back to them, might discuss them, might look at them together. Yes, when you sacrifice, you should get more elo points when you win with sacrifices. While you're thinking of your favorite game with queen to h8, I will Sokolov. Let me see. Let me find this game and put it on the board. Okay, good. 2009, you say. Okay. Well, okay, I'll put it. It's not really the same idea, because white queen got to the h8 square. I mean, there was a queen to h8 move, but it was not the king who was forced to get to h8, but the rook, right? And so the rook was deflected from protecting the f7 square. But nevertheless, it's always good to see a nice combination. So why not? Why not? Okay, here it was possible to play rook takes f7. Let's see. But it's how the king could get checkmated in that case. It's a little bit of puzzle rush, right? It's starting. After king b4, it's queen to b5 checkmate. But after king to d4, it's impossible, of course, to foresee. I mean, not impossible, but very difficult, especially in time trouble. Taking on a4. Okay, some very nice, very nice move. Okay, it's not really related to the topic of today's stream, but I want to see how it gets checkmated there. It's okay. Anyway, of course, in the game, why didn't take on f7? Probably they saw this idea. They saw, but it's just too risky to let the king go around the board, and that's why white opted for another very nice move, another combination. And the idea behind this move is to open up the a1 h8 diagonal, and when the queen goes away, white has a very nice move, which is, it's gonna be easy for you to yes, to name this move, to find this move, because we've seen it so many times today. Queen to h8. Yes, and black is getting checkmated here in case he takes on h8, and after king to e7, white played rook takes f7, and since the queen is not protecting this c3 square anymore, I believe checkmate is coming faster, right? After queen to c3. Nice. Okay, a few of nice checkmating variations. What would have happened after after this move? I think we know what would have happened after queen to d6. Why the queen went to h2? After queen to d6, rook takes f7 will happen, and checkmate will come really fast. Okay, nice combination. Well, I mean, this particular queen to h8 is not really the with the same idea that we are discussing, right? But the queen was sacrificed on h8, and if we look under this angle, it works out. It's okay. I agree. Maybe some more games that you know with queen h8 sacrifice, just name them in the chat and we'll have a look at them. And yes, queen h8, our today's discussion. The main topic of today's stream is queen to h8, which should be a sacrifice and should win the game. No, I'm not saying that you need to sacrifice the queen. You can sacrifice the queen if you win the game. Not necessarily. It depends on the position, of course. Every case is very special and particular, and sacrificing material requires a lot of calculation and attention, and only if you checked everything several times, only if you believe that this sacrifice is needed, you can go ahead and sacrifice. Otherwise, I mean, chess can be won with no sacrifices at all. Chess game. Что такое sacrifice? Жертва. Okay, so that's it for Chess Killer Tips podcast number 3. And now let me just solve a few puzzle rushes and I'll go and try to have some rest. There is it. I will switch off the board for the moment while I'm getting to the puzzle section. Oops. No, not this one. I just want to switch this off. So let's do one puzzle battle. It's always a surprise who is going to be my opponent. I believe if some of you will just go to this puzzle battle section and will press play, we might meet each other, we might face each other. So you can give it a try if you want. It takes time to find an opponent. 41. 41. 41 is my goal in 3 minutes, right? And 50 is my goal in 5 minutes. Still getting there. Still trying to get to those numbers. Even though I learned this magical trick of solving the first well, you know, after watching yesterday's puzzle battle championship, and so this guy's solving more than 60 in 3 minutes, that's something I cannot reach in the survival mode. Yes, that's something incredible. But what would be interested to see if these participants would solve specific, positions that have been chosen specifically for this competition. So we're sure they see them for the first time in their lives. Because I'm not sure if they like solving these puzzles, or they just have memorized them all. And that's my main question. I think they just, since they solved all of them thousands and thousands and thousands of times, they just know them. Well, almost know all of them. So it would be interesting if this kind of competition is being held, to make sure that the first, they are solving on chess.com, at least these positions appear for the first time in the life. Angelica, thank you for the raid. So I'm not sure what is the percentage of the what's going on. Nobody's on the site. Nobody wants to puzzle battle. Okay, so let's just get then to puzzle rush. Since I have this goal with a puzzle battle or without it, I want to get to this 41. Doesn't work for me for the moment, but I reached 40 several times, as you all saw. But not more than that. Hey. Hey. 39. 39. I was slow, but it was a good one. Okay, let me check the ones where I made mistakes. I thought that it's no difference actually than just 94 or take on e5 and then 94. What is the difference? What is the difference? After knight takes e5, it's possible to play b4. Okay, well, I still have a very good position after that. Maybe not as good as after knight e4. And the second one, queen to e2, I suppose. I thought that I'm going to take first and then queen to e2, but it's not as strong as queen to e2 immediately. Which counter? Yes, I know that some of them, but it's I tried several times just to hide it, counter, but it doesn't. I can give it a try, but I don't think it's a good idea. I know at least I'm white when I need to play to solve faster, and when queen to g1, similar to queen h8, by the way. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah. Too bad. So many mistakes. What is the difference between queen f5 and queen f6, knight g4? That's the difference. Well, here of course I shouldn't. What did I do? I played rook to f8. Of course, checkmate in one doesn't count. It doesn't count. Okay, one more. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. That's okay. You can always restart from the very beginning. That's okay. Black to move. I don't know. I don't know. Hi. What was there? Okay, knight to g6 first. Whew. Okay. In this move order, okay, but I just didn't see what's gonna happen here. I thought, okay, b1, but then queen c4, king. Yeah, I just didn't see that after king to c1, knight to b3. And even the queen is lost. On a8. On a8. Well, too easy to be true. Restart. Hashtag restart. Somehow it doesn't go my way today. Maybe not enough focus, not enough power to be concentrated. You really need a lot of concentration. Well, at least I need it. Probably some of the guys who solve these puzzles, they just solve it with the eyes closed, but no, I do need to concentrate. Ay, ay, ay. E. Ay. No idea. I don't know. I don't know. Any ideas here? Knight f4. Okay, well, knight f4. Okay. Yes. And probably it's the only move to save the king. I don't know. Yes, but okay. What to say? Rook takes f7. Yes, I thought for a while that rook takes f7 might be a good idea. And queen to e5 is not winning, is it? It's very close also. Okay, and I didn't know what's stronger, knight to d3 or knight to a4. So I decided to go to d3 in order to have knight to c3. But of course, from after knight d3, I well, today doesn't go my way. Let's then I'll try to solve 5 minutes, and then and then we'll stop. Sometimes there are days where it's just going to be useless. You can solve for hours and just don't get there. Sometimes you need to take a break. And then next day it's going to be better. I believe it doesn't make any difference, does it? You see, it's just not my day. Let me do any move. I just don't want to continue. Wait. What is the difference? Maybe yes, but I need to get closer because the pawn will be on c7 and we get to this position with the c pawn. Yeah. And yeah, of course it does make a lot of difference, I must say. Okay, let's do it from the beginning. Yeah. Boom. Why not f6? Yes, too bad. Too bad today. I don't know why to e7, not to g7. Bishop takes b7. Okay. Maybe bishop takes b7. f6, of course, is a very easy one. And here, I didn't see queen to a3. That's why I decided to play. By the way, make sure to sign up to my ChessQueen club on chess.com. And I decided that the first tournament I'm going to do, is when I get to 11,000 followers. To celebrate 11,000 followers, I'm going to organize celebration arena. So one more. Okay, I'm going to solve the very final puzzle rush for today, and that's it. Sometimes you just need to let it go, as we all know. White. No, come on. Ay, it's not a checkmate. No, it's not a checkmate. Ay. Oh, Well, any single, okay, found it. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Bishop to e6. Yes, I see why. Not so difficult, but somehow it just doesn't work. It doesn't work today. My brain doesn't function. Okay. 50, but not today. Okay, if you sent a request, that's good. If you sent a request, that's good. I still need to work a little bit more to get 11,000. Let's play 2 games. You can use challenge link to challenge me. While you doing it, while you're sending your challenges, I'm going to get to the playing hall, if we can say so, of chess.com. 2 more games and I'll get going. Tomorrow I'll try to do puzzle rushes in the afternoon. ChessQueen does accept challenges, but from premium members. Okay, Slippery Spitster. Think you have a chance. You have a chance. I think everyone has a chance. Castle. Let's attack the square. Playing fast, that's for sure. Yeah. Why not bishop takes g3? You see why it's important to solve puzzles well. Okay, now what? What now? I actually see no plan to how to make this position better for me. So let's just hope my opponent will find this plan. Okay, he doesn't mind to make a draw. Actually, it would be a wise decision for me to accept it. Okay. He decided to think for such a long time. An interesting endgame indeed. But if I play now, it doesn't change a lot. Still a draw. Didn't expect this one, to tell you the truth. I'll do my draw this way. Aye. But I tried. I think I got a very good position. My opponent just doesn't want. I got a very good position out of the opening, but somehow was a little bit too fast in the middle game. So let's make a draw. Yes, it's a draw. Okay, good. And the second game. The second game is going to be this one. Всем привет. You were winning at the end? Well, I don't think so. I don't think you were winning. I mean, bishop takes g3 at one point was, of course, winning, if you mean that particular moment. But later on, well, I mean, of course, I blundered the pawn. You didn't take it, but I think otherwise it was a pretty equal endgame. But of course, at like earlier on, you didn't play well after the opening. You misplayed. I had a big advantage, but somehow wasn't precise enough to prove this advantage. But I'm sure I had like a very big advantage out of the opening. Yeah, when I played h3, it was a blunder. It could have taken on g3. So, but here it's an easier game for me, of course. A little bit easier. I have an extra queen after all. It should make the trick. It should make it work. My opponent is still trying his or her, I don't know, best. But yes, that's a big minus of chess in some way. It's not poker. A joker will not come as your fifth. I mean, if it's lost, it's lost. Miracles so rarely happen in chess that you stop believing in them. Yes, miracle ace will not come. Although my opponent thinks otherwise. Okay. Let's prove that it's chess. It's something when you get an extra queen, you normally win the game. Queen to e1. You mean the previous game? It was +8. Wow. I'll get back to it. Let me finish this game and then we'll just go over. The first one. Fast. Too many queens, too many rooks. Some puzzle rush. Checkmating. Okay. What was that? Here you mean, right? Let's check. Actually, just today I finished recording the videos in Russian or Chess.com.ru on the King's Gambit series, and bishop c5 doesn't look good. Anyway, so where were knight to c3 is better, it says. Okay, but here of course I'm winning. I don't have enough experience of playing King's Gambit yet, so yes, bishop takes f7. I think for those who play King's Gambit it's like a must-see idea. Definitely one of the key ideas in the King's Gambit is to sacrifice something on the f7 square. And the game could have ended a little bit differently, right? But it would have been another story. So yes, definitely need to consider. And I went slowly to win this pawn back, but I'm still much better here, I believe. Queen to e3 first. That's already, yes, queen to e3 first was much stronger, because I think same story now. Bishop takes f7 doesn't work here, but then yes, then game was it was about equal. Okay, I mean it was equal until the moment where I decided to give away a pawn, and my opponent was generous enough not to take it on g3. h3 of course is a blunder. Bishop takes g3 should be played. That's where solving puzzle rush tactics helps. But luckily for me, my opponent didn't notice it, and well, it was a draw. I was supposed, to agree on a draw, of course, earlier on, but I think here it's... Yes, it ended logically, but at the beginning... Anyway, there are different engines, but what we can agree on, that bishop takes f7 was absolutely crushing the position here, and black made mistake earlier. Bishop to c5 I think is a mistake here, because it gets under attack, so you need to either take on d5 or even play queen e7, I believe here. I don't remember what's better. But queen e7, as far as I remember, is a nice way here to check what is white doing. Because after queen e7, it seems that queen e2 is almost forced, but in that case we'll get to an endgame. Yep, well, it's always good to refresh our opening theory once in a while. It's a must if you play chess. Nowadays it's impossible to survive without knowing all those theoretical lines, at least without having an idea. Is it ever too late to become a Grandmaster? I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. It depends. It depends on many factors, and the video is not yet published. I mean, this video course, I just translated into Russian the video course of Simon Williams, and it's in English on chess.com. It's going to be published in Russian soon with my translations of this course. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the link to the original course in English, and your friend can listen to it if he or she does speak English. I think it's a good course with 5 nice games and with main ideas of King's Gambit explained by Simon. I enjoyed it very much. Okay, thank you for your compliments. They do bring my mood up a little bit. Well, then just in a few, I think, weeks or maybe even less, my translations of this course will be published, so I will let you know. Yes, definitely Russian is a language to learn. Okay, and that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed my stream. Tomorrow there's going hi Hrofilkan, hi, but I'm actually just ending my stream. Tomorrow there's going to be a short stream in the afternoon. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's just going to be very short. I'm going to solve a few puzzle rushes, probably to play a few games, and that's it, because I have a plane to take. So I need to prepare. No Gibraltar this month, and actually no Gibraltar for me is either way, because I finished my Grand Prix series. Yes, the last Grand Prix, Women's Grand Prix has been postponed, but we all hope to see Vaikanze, and yeah, that's very sad. So anyway, so I'm going to get going and I hope to see you all soon, tomorrow, or maybe starting Monday as usual. Starting Monday I'm going to try to get back, stick to my schedule, starting my streams at 10 p.m. Central European time. And there's going to be Arena King starting next week, and Title Tuesday, so I'll keep you posted, and I'm sure we'll see each other very soon. Yes, remember about the sacrifice on h8. I hope that you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and see you soon. I'm going to give a rate. I'm going to give a rate to yes, now to Levi Росман. Все, всем спокойной ночи, не болейте, играйте в шахматы и до скорых встреч. Давайте, пока-пока, увидимся.